give you the answer. So basically, I just wanted to see what you guys thought because it's funny because a lot of people think they know how to frame, especially like newer sales reps. But when it actually comes down to it, like no one knows how to frame. Even the top sales reps don't know how to frame. Like it's crazy. Like there are sales reps that I've spoken to and I've asked them to frame, like, okay, frame the call. I want to see you do it. And they don't know how to do it, right? So the definition of framing is basically preparing somebody to receive either a line of questioning, receive an interjection, which means like a challenging on their belief or like, challenging on their thought, or receive a different perspective, right? And that can always work in any case, okay? So framing is super important in calls, and we're gonna cover that because if you're not framing your calls in the beginning of your call, guys, trust me, it's going to not like you're not going to close as many deals as you think, right? Framing is the most important thing you have to do. Once you frame at the top of the call, which is basically saying, "Hey, hello, like here's what's going to happen. Here's what I'm going to ask you." That's framing at the top of the call. Framing in the middle of the call is when you're going through the line of questioning and the prospect talks a lot, right? Or you might be talking a lot. And you kind of have to reframe the frame. You have to reframe the house to then frame it so that you can get back into the mode, right? So that you can get back in pocket. In pocket means like you're in your zone, you're exactly where you need to be on the sales process. So reframing is important in the discovery, and then framing as well in objections is also similar to reframing in the discovery, but reframing in case things get hot, in case your prospect is trying to run off the phone, in case they're trying to rush. Okay. So framing can mean a lot of different things, but the main thing is just like building the foundation so that you can build on top of it. Okay. Um, and one last thing before I actually share my screen as well. On our last session, we talked about contextualization. Okay. Contextualization is also kind of framing a question. Like when you contextualize a question, like versus asking, what is your goal in 10 years? That's a shitty question versus contextualization question, which is, so, a lot of our most successful clients, especially here at Dermis, they want to know exactly where they need to be, and they're super intentional and self-aware when it comes to their goals and their vision. Okay. That being said, for you, like if we were to flash forward, let's say 20 years from now, what's the ultimate vision for your med spa and your business and your life? That's a contextualized question, and I'm also just adding framing at the top of it so that I can ask the question I want to get the outcome and the answer that I want the best. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So I'm going to share my screen now, and while I do that, I'm just going to show you guys my Miro board. I took inspiration from this from Johnny Mao. Johnny Mao is a great guy. Um, we're gonna create our own soon. Actually, we already have our own. It's just a duplicate of this. And if you don't have it, I'll send this to you after. I'll send you guys our internal one at the end of this call if you don't have it already. What we're gonna do is this. I'm gonna showcase those four different types of frames: top, middle, objections, and framing questions. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys those four things. I'm gonna write those down so I don't forget. Does anyone have any questions before I dive into the actual Maro board and share my screen? No questions? Everybody knows how to frame?
Oh, we're good. We're good. Excited to see these examples.
Okay. All right. Cool. So we're gonna dive into it. We're gonna go into number one, which is how to frame the top of the call. I'm gonna do it live, and then I'm gonna have Juliana or Amy do a live example with me after. Okay. So you guys make sure you listen. Okay. Everybody else should be listening too. Now, what we're gonna do here is I'm just gonna explain. Sorry. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain just the main gist. This is the frame of the top of the call. If you can't do this, which by the way, people suck at doing, which by the way, I really sucked at doing, you will not make money. Okay? The reality is, especially when it comes to framing, a lot of people think you have to frame like this. Hey, hey Tristan, how's it going? Hey Tristan, yeah, so on this call, we only have like an hour here before my next call or 30 minutes before my next call. I'm just gonna gather some information about you, see if we can actually help you, and then we're gonna get a yes or no at the end of the call. Sound good? That is like a traditional frame that people use for some godforsaken reason, which I don't quite understand why, because it doesn't really serve the prospect. Like, if someone told you that, wouldn't you have like a visceral reaction like, yeah, like what the heck? Like, okay, great. So instead, I'm going to show you guys how to do it without the script, and I'm not going to read the script. I just want you guys to get the feeling and almost get that like sense of like, okay, he cares. Okay, so who wants to be the prospect while I be the closer?
I'll do it.
Cool. Okay, ready?
Yep.
Hey, Amy.
Yes, hello?
Hey, Amy, it's Daniel. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
Awesome. Do you mind turning on your camera? I can't see you.
Of course.
Awesome. There you go. What you up to?
Not much. Just a day filled with stuff. It's a great opportunity and just living life, man. How about you?
Not too bad, not too bad. About to wrap up my day here as well. It looks like you booked on my account today, possibly about leveling up your sales skills so you can increase your commissions.
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah. So, I mean, the first part of this call is really for us to kind of like find out more about your background as far as what you've done in the past, what you're doing now, what's working, what's not working. And then I would really say like what you're looking for to see if we can actually help you because sometimes like there are some people that we can't actually help. Okay. So I guess I should start by asking, like, what did you hear or see from Daniel that like made you want to look into this further?
In reality, I just thought there'd
Oh,
be a
cool.
lot of
It's good. Right. So that's how you frame. Appreciate you for doing that. Right. So you see how like I took my time and I literally made it within their best interest to like actually receive my questioning. Like I didn't shove it down their throat. I made it clear that like, hey, the first part of this call is to figure out what you're up to, like what you're doing now, what's working, what's not working, what you've done in the past, and then really I would say like what you're looking for to see if we can actually help you because sometimes there are people that we can't actually help. Okay? Does that make sense? So I'm going to send you guys the Miro board and I want to do one role play example before we move on to number two, which is middle framing, which is like how do you reframe the middle of the call? I want to just do a middle example. Does anyone have any questions before we do a live role play?
You good?
No questions at all? Okay. Whoever's gonna role play better have a perfect 10 out of 10 10 out of 10 frame. Not okay. All right, no worries. Juliana or Amy, who wants to go up?
Here.
Okay. Do you have the Miro board?
Yes, I do have it.
Yeah, I just sent it in the Zoom chat, so you can have it again. I want you to just open your screen
Mm-hmm.
and just have this open. It's important that you just have this thing open. Okay?
Okay.
So, I mean, I can keep it shared if you want, or do you wanna? Yeah, I can just keep on sharing it if you want. Here, just look at the Zoom. All right, let's do it. Hit me up.
Um, Hold on, I had already transferred over here, so now I have it.
Okay.
Oh, I lost it in the Zoom. Hold on. Okay, now we're here. We're good.
Yep.
Okay, so are you the prospect or am I?
I'm the prospect. You're the closer.
Okay. All right, so hey Daniel, can you see me?
Hey, Juliana, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. And yourself?
Not too bad. I just got back home from work.
Okay, nice. So it looks like you booked on my calendar today about possibly getting some help in regards to implementing a membership system that would allow you to secure recurring revenue for your med spa. Is that right?
Yep. Yeah, I'm in the right place.
Awesome. So, really the first part of this call is really more to find out more or less about your background as far as what you've been doing in the past, kind of where the bottlenecks are now, and I would say, what your goals are and see if what we offer here at Dermis would even align with that, because there's sometimes clinics we're not able to help. Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
Okay, so I guess before we dive into your clinic, could you tell me what it was you saw about Dermis that made you want to book this call?
Boom. Okay, so perfect. So look, that was amazing. Before I give you my feedback, that's the reason why, guys, Juliana made 6,900 in the last 21 days. So that's why, because she's a killer. Okay. So, but let me give you some feedback, okay? You did it well. It was your first time in front of a crowd. I mean, good job. You killed it. But what I would say is a really good trick to open rapport at the very top of the call, instead of asking, how are you, or like if someone says, how are you? And you say, how about yourself? Don't ask that question. Say, what are you up to? Right? Because
Okay.
nobody says, what are you up to? Your mom will probably say, what are you up to? And it makes them feel like, oh, like she wants to know what I'm up to, right? Now, because if you say, how are you, it might go into like a whole different tangent of like their kids, their dog pooping on the floor. Like you just don't want to get into that mode, right? You don't want to be talking about the weather. Like you want to be ideally here in the first 15 seconds of the call, right? Or sorry, like 30 seconds of the call, not 15. That's crazy. Now, with this one, you did this one very well. Obviously, you'll get better at it with time. It'll come out smoother. But what I would say with what you help with, you made like a massive sentence of like what you guys do. I want you to be able to capture what Dermis does in literally 3 words. So my thought would be, yeah, so it looks like looks like you booked on my calendar today, possibly about getting a recurring revenue model with your med spa so that you can actually scale your med spa. Right? That's just like off the cuff. Like that's kind of rough, but like it has to be quick. It has to be like tangible, right? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Because people's attention spans are not there. And instead of like, um, what I noticed is that like that the transition from here to here was kind of like a little awkward. Like it was like, yeah, so it looks like you booked. No, it has to be like after, like let's role play it. Ready? Like you the prospect, I'm the closer, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Hey Juliana.
Yes,
Hey Juliana, nice to see you. What you up to?
nothing much. Just taking a break right now.
Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, so it looks like you booked on my calendar today, possibly about getting into a recurring revenue model so you can scale your med spa.
Yes.
Awesome. So like, yeah, the first part of this call is really for us to find out more about your, right? So you see how it's kind of smoother and it's kind of like more natural, right?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't really feel like I'm reading off of a script, right?
Yeah, I think you're right. Like I do need to practice with this more because I've been so um laser focused on implementing Jimmy's notes into the beginning of my call because I mean, I'm pretty sure this is like across the board with offers, but people seem to be like annoyed that they have to have the call with Jimmy before they jump on a call with me. So like I'm trying to reassure them like it wasn't time wasted. He collected useful data that I'm plugging into
Yeah.
this. You know what I mean?
And
So
that's a
I
super helpful
haven't.
observation. Like that's a very good observation. And that's something that only like a top closer would ask or like top closer would be aware of. Now, the way that you don't make it annoying for them, because I get it. Like, imagine you got on a phone call with
Mhm.
somebody for 15 minutes and then now you're speaking to another girl asking the same questions. The way that you avoid that is by framing the call. So if it's a completely fresh call, do the call top to bottom. But if it's a call that Jimmy already spoke to or Setter already spoke to, the way that you frame it is like this. So you do the same thing. Yeah, so like
Mhm.
you booked my call today. I know you spoke to my colleague Jimmy. He said something regarding you wanting to actually implement Dermis so you can actually get more like monthly recurring clients for your med spa, right? And they say, yeah. Me and Jimmy spoke. Oh, great. Yeah, he let me know a few things. I'm in between meetings all day, so like I didn't have the full context. I did get a little bit of an understanding of what you guys do, but I guess like what this call is for us to actually find out, more about your med spa, what you're doing right now as far as your background, what's working right now, what's not, and then really get nitty gritty into like what you need because I mean, let's be honest, like there's not we can't help every med spa that comes into these calls because sometimes there are people that we can't help. Does that make sense? And then after you go
Yes.
into that, after you say that, you just go straight into alignment phase. Like if Jimmy did a perfect job, which I hope he is, like I hope he's doing a good job, you don't need to be asking any of these questions. You can go straight into eliminating DIY, which is this one, right? Like Jimmy would have already asked all these questions. Like he would have already
Mhm.
asked like basically all of this already, plus like maybe a little bit of this if he's a pro. And then you should just go straight into straight into eliminating DIY, which is this one or this one. Because depending on if they say if they like what they're doing, you can usually they'll say no. If someone says yes, I'm happy with my model, like that's insane. Like that's crazy. Like no one's gonna say they're happy and then show up on a call. But sometimes you will get
Mm-mm.
people that are smartasses, so you have to like kind of handle that. And and it shows you how. But ultimately, you're trying to get to eliminating a DIY objection, which is this, and then you're going straight into alignment phase, which is straight into pre-handling, and boom, you just shaved off like 15 minutes of your call, and you're straight into handling objections. Then after alignment phase, you go success phase, desired state, reality check, pitch, objection, close. Right? It's simple, and then your calls are like 30 minutes. But again, still take an hour time slot. So that's super good. I do want to finish like the framing aspect of like how to reframe in the middle, reframe with objections, and then frame questions up. But did that help you? Like, did that give you more clarity on how to frame at the top of the call?
No, yes, because my opening has been totally different because I'm wanting to respect their time and help them feel seen, and it wasn't a call in vain with Jimmy. So when I did this, it was like kind of like I was seeing it for the first time almost because I really haven't been using that opening part. So when you did it with acknowledging the Jimmy piece and everything, that makes more sense for me,
Yeah.
and I can take that.
Of course, yeah. Like I'd be pretty annoyed if I had to have the same line of questioning the same time. Like, but again, that only depends if your setter is sharp. Like if Jimmy is really doing everything he is doing on the calls. Like if your
Which he
people,
is.
yeah, perfect. If your people are showing up unqualified to your call, then you might have to do more questioning, but realistically, you should only be speaking to tens, right? Like only laydowns, right? And then you just, yeah. So we'll move on. But does anyone have any questions before I go on to number two, which is how to reframe in the middle of the call? Any questions on framing? I'll wait for a question because I'm pulling up a document for this one. No one? No questions?
In a
All right.
perfect world for framing, how long do you think is appropriate to be spending on just the delivery of the frame?
However long it takes you to say what I said.
Yeah, sorry, I was just trying to give a question.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, that's good. It's good. I mean, I appreciate you. I appreciate the question. I just hope that, like, either if no one's asking questions, it either means like no one's understanding anything, or like you guys are like complete professionals at this. So, like, last chance. Like, is there any questions on how to frame? Does anyone else want to role play with it? Like, before I move on, because this is the last time I'm going to talk about this on a call. I'm going to record this and put it in a module. So, you know, any last words?
Yeah, I'll do a quick frame.
Yeah, okay, let's go for it.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go for it. Yeah. Well, by
So
the way,
Daniel,
the setting frame is a little bit different from the closing frame, so we'll just do that then. We'll talk about that right now. Actually, perfect, because I forgot about that. For setters, so Sahil, Jimmy, Amy, Tristan, you'll find this helpful. Christian, you'll find this helpful if your setters are not working. Ariel, you'll find this helpful. So everybody listen up, basically, not just Jimmy. So when it comes to framing for setters, let me just show you it really quickly. Because I have that on lock right now. So I'll show you a script that I used for real estate coaching. This one is just don't freaking say you like freaking real estate coaching. Say whatever offer you have, right? Like, so if it's somebody, usually ignore inbound because you're rarely going to get booked on the calendar if you're a setter. Like, you're usually just going to be calling people. Like, you're not going to have someone set an appointment, right? So usually you start from here. And how it goes is like this. So Jimmy, you're the prospect, okay? And now listen,
Okay.
now look, this is a master class on framing for setting because honestly, if you can't do this, you can't frame closing calls because the art of the art of framing for setting calls is the ability to garnish someone's attention in the first 2 seconds, do a pattern interrupt, have them listen to you, and then continue for the call for 15 minutes. Like that's an art, right? Like not a lot of people can do that because usually they're like, "Oh, I'm too busy. See you later." Right? So, ready, Jimmy?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Jimmy?
Yeah. Who is
Yeah,
it?
yeah, it's just Daniel from Dermis.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Just had a minute to get back to you, see if I can possibly help out. Now I'm looking online and what did I see here? Looks like you filled out a form for like med spa recurring agency. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so. Something like that.
Yeah, like yeah, it's for med spa, dermis, like recurring revenue, membership. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah, that does. Yeah.
Okay,
I,
perfect.
yeah.
Yeah, so I guess I should start by asking, like, have you found what you're looking for, or were you still out there looking?
Yeah, I'm still looking. I just put in the inquiry.
Awesome. Okay, cool. And I'm just so I'm not assuming, like, what's the biggest challenge when you're facing right now when it comes to, I guess, scaling your med spa's recurring revenue?
Just having people come back in and book an appointment. They
Boom.
they they have a good
That's it.
first session, but then they never end
That's
up
it.
booking again.
So that's it. So let me just break down what I just did. Like let's do a play by play, like let's do a goal line technology type breakdown. Okay? Because what I did was a pattern interrupt. I said, hey Jimmy. I was like, hey Jimmy, right? Because like usually sales reps start like, hey, it's Jimmy from Dermis X Y and Z Framing Company. How's it going? I'm calling, and then what the fuck? Like it's just like, bro, like you're like ruining the sale right there. So there's two pattern interrupts that you do. The first thing is by saying their name, right? Hey Jimmy, and they're like, hey, hello, who's this? Or like, hey, like they might be expecting a call, right? So you say, hey Jimmy, and they're like, hi, hello, and then you're like, yeah, it's Daniel. One, two, three. From Dermis. Yeah, I just saw that you filled out a, what did I see here? I saw you just filled out a form for Dermis, med spa, recruiting, whatever the offer is, right? So you notice how I said, hey, Jimmy? Yeah, who is this? Yeah, it's Daniel from Dermis. I just saw that you, right? Because if you say, hey, yeah, it's Daniel, or yeah, it's Alex, or yeah, it's Tristan, they're gonna be like, do I know a Tristan? Oh, hey Tristan, what's up? Like they might even know a Tristan or they might even know a Daniel, right? That's happened a lot. Like my setters call, like my guy's name is Oscar, and we used to do that for a real estate coaching offer, and apparently people knew a lot of Oscars. So they're like, "Yo, what's up, Oscar? What's up?" And then they wouldn't hang up. So it's like it's crazy. So that's kind of how it works. So you guys should already have access to this, but if you don't, send you the I'll send you it. But obviously it's a real estate framework. And I mean, it's better that I send you this one because to be honest, if I send you the templated version, it might have less meat on it because what I did is I really went deep into like every objection and every like nuance. And all you have to do is just change it to your offer. That's it. Right? So you have that framework, you're good now. Okay. So I'm gonna move on to reframing in the middle of the call. This is really important for closers. So everybody on this call basically, and setters as well, because this is gonna happen for setters too. This is super important because you're gonna get a lot of times. Like, can someone say yes or no to a time where either a prospect is talking way too much, or B, someone's trying to rush to hear the offer, or C, they're like freaking someone like killed their child and they're just like on edge. Like,
Mm-hmm.
has that ever happened to someone?
All of the above.
Yes.
So what rookie sales reps do, one second. So, my bad. I'm just ruining my table right now with my freaking smoothie. Okay. So what rookie sales reps do is they just continue the call. They don't do anything about it. They just let people walk all over them, or they just listen and listen and listen and listen and listen. And because they don't want to be rude, they don't reframe. They don't interrupt them, right? Before I talk about reframing in the middle of the call, let's talk about how you interrupt somebody, because that's a skill too. Because interrupting people, I mean, if you're doing it the right way, it's not rude. In fact, you want to display your authority on a call. If someone's talking and talking and talking and talking, what I do is I just say the last word that they said. Yeah, man, like I totally agree with what you're saying, and you just talk. Like you don't even like let them acknowledge the words that you're saying. Like let's do a little example. Tristan or someone who wants to just talk out of their ass and then watch me interrupt them.
We could just, as you're talking about that right now, I could just interrupt and just use it as an example of just
Yeah,
talking.
because as an example, like the truth is, man, when you're coming on these calls, right? So you just go.
Yeah.
So like you just gotta do it, right? So yeah, Jimmy literally did it, but you didn't really interrupt me because I
No, I
was
know you stopped. Nothing's fine.
yeah that's all good. I interrupted you though. So so you see, right? Now another way to do it, another way to interrupt, is by literally putting up your hand. Like literally, like it's like a teacher. Like if someone's talking, it's like, and they're gonna be like, yeah, what? Like they're gonna like you'll notice it. Like if you raise your hand, people are just gonna like they're gonna be like stopping. Like it's just a pattern interrupt. Like I don't know who taught this, but like apparently there's like I saw this on Instagram. It's like apparently detectives or like police officers that are interviewing like prospects in like an interrogation room. Like they do some like shit with their hands like mid conversation and just throws them off completely. And they're like stop. They're just stopping their tracks and they start like having to make up the story. So it's like that's how you catch someone. So it's like if you just raise up your hand or raise up two, they're gonna stop talking. I promise. And they're gonna be like they're gonna forget that they were talking and they're just gonna let you talk. Another way, the last way to interrupt people before you reframe is by doing this. You go, yeah. Can I just say, how self-aware you're being? That's it. That's all you gotta do. Like literally, if you applaud someone, like, yeah. Yeah, can I just say something really quickly? Like you are so self-aware, man. Like it's very rare that I come on these calls and there's someone that's like as self-aware as you and like to be honest, that's a quality that our top clients have. But that being said, and then here's how you reframe the conversation if someone's talking so much. You just say, so that being said, like we realistically only have another like 30 minutes on this call, and I really want to make sure that we can serve you. Okay, whether it's today, tomorrow, next year, whatever. The reality is I have like 8 other calls just like this, and we're trying to help as many med spots as we possibly can. And we're only able to onboard a select few. So I want to really make sure that I get everything I can from this call. So like, can I just make a suggestion for you, Juliana? Yeah. So that being said, like, um, don't hold back on your answers. Like, be very clear and be very self-aware as you're being. But I only have like, let me just see here. Like, I mean, I'm trying to think. Like, I only need to ask you like maybe like 10 more questions just to really get a firm grasp of what you do and how we can help you and get a really custom solution. So when you're answering, go super deep and go super clear. Don't hold back, be super vulnerable, but just give me the answer straight, okay? That way, like I can give you the best solution at the end of this call. Sound good? Yeah. Like there's no way they're gonna like not respect you after that. In fact, like people actually admire that because it's like they can see you're about business and you're about like time. Does that make sense? So do that. That works super well. So that's how you reframe at the middle of the call. Now, what happens if someone's being rude? Like, what happens if someone's like rushing to hear the offer? And this can also work in objections too. So I'm gonna basically kill two birds with one stone here. This one works really well with people who are just being complete assholes. Like people that are just like rude or like they're just like super freaking like, oh my God, like this guy is, oh my God. So someone roleplay with me. Christian,
Yeah.
I want you to be a prospect
Okay.
who, and everybody mute your mic so that we can just hear the Christian and I. Thank you.
Mhm.
So Christian, we're gonna be talking. I'm gonna ask you like a alignment phase question, right? The very
Okay.
beginning of alignment phase, and you're gonna be like, dude, like, can you just tell me the offer? Like, I'm tired of these questions, man. Like, I just want to hear the offer, right? And I'm gonna try to ask you the question again. Like, I'm gonna try to like before I go into the complete reframe, I'm gonna just try it again and you're gonna be an asshole about it, right?
Okay.
Because usually if you try again, they'll answer because the reframe takes like a minute or two, and I don't want to waste time doing a reframe if I don't have to. Because a reframe really breaks down the freaking foundation and like reframes the call, like from the start. You're basically restarting, not restarting the call, but you're restarting the frame. So it's kind of annoying to do, but sometimes you got to do it. So let's do it. Ready?
Yep.
All right. So Christian, by the way, dude, appreciate you being super self-aware. Now at this point of the call, I want to kind of understand where you've been in the last like 6 months, because you've said that you've like been kind of struggling with this for a while now.
Yeah, that's great, but the setter already, you know, answered those questions. I kind of just want to know more like what the offer entails and how much it costs, and then we'll go on from there.
Like the offer that we have.
Yeah, like the price itself. Like, what does it cost?
Oh yeah, like I honestly, it ranges from like 3K to 30K. I don't want to give you something that you don't need right now. So I mean, like what do you want to do? Like, do you want me to just like give you all the options now and then you can kind of make a decision on something you don't need? Or like, can I actually understand more about yourself and get very tactical on what you need from us?
I mean, did the setter not tell you about me?
Okay. So then now I do the reframe. So this guy's being a complete asshole. And I get these people a lot, right? I used to get these a lot, right? Because people in Canada are miserable. So what I would say is this. Okay, Christian, like, okay, let's take a step back for a moment. Like, what are we here to do?
No, I'm here for more information, but I'm being told one thing, I'm being promised the world, and now I'm in this call, and the whole point of it is just to figure out the price and me move on forward with my life. So I don't know, what are we doing?
No, I hear you. But like ultimately, like, what are we here to do?
Dude, you keep asking me questions. I don't know. The setter or did the setter not give you any info?
Yeah. But like I don't know, I don't have the full context because I take these calls all day. But I'm just gonna ask you again. Like, let's take a step back. Let's ignore the setter that you keep mentioning. I don't know why I keep saying setter. That's my colleague, right? He has a name. His name is Edgar, right?
Okay.
Like, but dude, like, let's take a step back. Like, what are we here to do?
Um, that's a good question. I just want to be able to increase my lead flow, my conversion ratio over the phone.
So, like, change your life, basically.
I don't know if it's gonna change my life, dude, but like, yeah, sure.
Okay, hold on a minute. Like, wait. It's simple, bro. Like, because I want to like get through this line of questioning before we can continue. Because I don't want to continue the conversation unless like we're gonna have a productive conversation. So I mean, dude, like if we are able to increase your commissions and increase your sales and whatever, like, would that change your life? Yes or no?
I mean, sure. Yeah. I don't see
Sure.
why not.
I didn't
Yeah,
seem that
yeah, I
confident.
don't see why not. Like if I put in the work and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, yeah, of course.
What are you talking about, dude? Like, dude, like, just be straight with me. Like, if we made you more money, like 3 times more income than you're making now, because you said earlier you weren't making anything, like squat, right? It's like if we were helping you make 30K a month, would that change your life? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, now I'm gonna pause for a second. I literally haven't even freaking gone halfway in the freaking reframe. I've been stuck here because I'm trying to get him to say yes, and he's being a smartass. So I'm like, I'm not being stubborn, right? I'm not sorry. I'm being stubborn and I'm trying to get him to pass my checkpoint. So let's continue. Ready? Okay. All right, dude, Christian. Like, so you're here to change your life. Perfect, dude. That's all I need to hear. Um, and you always want to like pause. You always just want to like take your time. Because if someone's trying to go fast, always go slow, right? You want to be an oak tree. You want to be chill, right? Okay, dude. Like, can I share an observation with you, bro?
I mean, is this just you asking more questions? I just want to know what the price is, bro. I don't think it's that much to ask, you know?
I'm not gonna tell you what the price is because I genuinely don't know what to offer you right now. In fact, like I don't even know if you want. I don't even know if I want to offer you anything right now. Like, I'm asking you if you want to change your life. You're saying sure. I'm asking if I can give you an honest observation to honestly give you some coaching. But if it's not something you need from me right now, bro, then just let me know. Like, if you don't want someone to be honest with you, then we can get off the call now.
You don't have to and say that. But can you understand my frustration? Setter's telling me one thing, then you're coming in and telling me another thing. It's like, dude, what are we doing?
I'm confused, bro. There's absolutely nothing on this call that we haven't asked that is not pushing If you want to look at it as a sales call, sure. But I'm trying to genuinely understand what you need. So, and by the way, like, can we just, again, like, let's just like take a massive step back for a moment. Because you're here on this call to change your life and get information that is going to help you do better things in your current business to make more money, which is going to do X, Y, Z, whatever desired result they said in the call, right? So, I mean, look, like if you are seriously that desperate to learn more about our offer, like I can probably put you in touch with Alexis, but as you know, he's a busy guy. I genuinely don't know what to offer you yet because we're literally like 10 minutes into the call. I haven't even asked you like what it is that you're looking for specifically, and that's gonna come in like 5 minutes. But I'd really appreciate you if we could just like reframe this conversation and start off anew. That way we can actually get into the line of question that's productive, or else, dude, like to be honest, I don't really feel comfortable proceeding with this call. So where do you want to go from here?
All right, continue the call.
Are you sure?
I mean, dude, this is the first call I've taken. I haven't interviewed anybody else. I just want to hear what you guys have to offer.
Okay, but bro, I mean, dude, like, who hurt you today, bro? Like, why are you being like this?
What are you talking about? I'm just asking direct questions. I can't
No, I
ask
know, but
direct.
like, bro, but like, who hurt you today? Like, dude, like, I
No
didn't
one.
do anything to you. Like, listen, like, look, if you want to come on this call, if you want to come on my call and treat me like this, dude, I don't want to help you. Like, would it be fair if like you joined our program and then we're like, we made demands that we made demands for you that you couldn't fulfill? Like, bro, we want you to start calling 1,000 people at 6 a.m. till fucking 6 a.m. the next day. Like, would that be fair? Like, if we don't really know your situation or know squat about you? So, dude, like, if you want to keep on being like this, dude, let's just end the call now.
All right, let's send it. And then right there, to just send it. Now, let's say I were to be like, hey, you know what? Fine, I get it. You know what? That makes sense. I can see
Okay,
where
so
you're coming.
I want to get to the reframe, but no one's ever gonna get on a call like that. If they're on like that, bro, the setter shouldn't be even setting them in the first place. Like they shouldn't. Like no one should ever be talking to a closer like that. If they are, bro, the setters just suck, right?
It's like a DM set because that's happened to me once in my
Yeah, but
career.
all your bookings should be called. Like before getting on the closer, they need to be triage called and qualified and freaking everything before. Like you need to do everything you can to lay all the cards in your favor.
Gotcha.
So I do have a question on this because it happened to me with property hustlers actually, where I set them up perfectly, had a great conversation with them. They were like, "Oh, I have 100 grand I can put down right now." Like they were loaded and had a super cool conversation. And then the moment they got on the closer call, they acted like they didn't.
Sometimes that happens. Sometimes it happens, and the truth is, and you see how I cut you off,
Yeah.
right? Because I want to, because you know, like you gotta just get good at that, right?
But in
So,
reality, like, is it even fair for the closer to state that the setter sucked during that?
well,
Or
no, like obviously there's gonna be some people that like have a stick in their ass the morning that they get on the call with you, right? That's just inevitable, right? But you should be trying your absolute best as a setter with the proper framework that pre-handles objections and gets all that bullshit right away because money amplifies people's emotions, right? The second someone's on a sales call, money is involved and they become a fucking asshole or they
Mhm.
become a nice person or they become very scared, right? So it's like again, yes, obviously it's different because a setter is like more customer service and they're just offering the call. But like if you're not tying down their willingness to invest in themselves, tying down their willingness to actually be coachable, put in the time, you're gonna get all that bullshit at the setter call. If you're not, then that means there has to be a better line of questioning to get to that root cause. But again, sometimes you can set people perfectly and they will wake up the next morning like fucking like with like a like just seeing red for some reason. So listen, I want to continue with Christian, but by the way, great question. So it's not always the setter's fault, but 90% of the time it is, right? 90%, right? Actually 95% because like setters are like very like setters are like the backbone of sales. Like if they don't set properly, if they're not setting the right resources, if they're not warming up the prospect properly before this closer call, you can honestly point a finger at the setter. But at the same time, don't get comfortable doing that because there's also an accountability aspect. Like if you're not reframing the calls like this, like if you don't go through this line of questioning that I'm about to go and you suck at doing it, you can't say it's a setter's fault. you have to be a great closer to do that. Right? So Christian, let's continue.
Yep. Let's do it.
By the way, thank you, Amy. Appreciate it. Your questions are always fire.
Yeah, Daniel, I can see where you're coming from. Just
Yeah, dude.
yeah,
So like you're here to change your life, right? Ultimately.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it might sound obvious, Christian. Like it might sound stupid, but genuinely it's important for me to understand this. Like, would you consider changing your life to be a big change?
I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like same thing, right? So can I share an observation with you, man?
Go for it.
Um, like what do you feel someone would need? Or actually, yeah, what would you feel someone would need? Or what would a person need to go through to experience a big change? Would it be through doing things that are easy, familiar, comfortable? Or is it finding the most uncomfortable thing to do?
I would say the second option.
Why though? Like, I mean, it is different for everybody. Like, why do you say so for the second one?
I mean, everything on the other side of difficult things is what you want, right? Like getting my real estate
Exactly.
license wasn't the easiest thing in the world. That took 3 tries of passing and failing an exam. So that's
Exactly, brother. Like, and do you feel like a part of doing uncomfortable things also has to do with like how we think, looking at how we make decisions, looking at how we receive information, and even who we're talking to be able to see a big change?
yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. So I mean, dude, let me ask you, like, do you feel like the people who want a big change, like a massive change, we're not talking about like 10K in the bank. No, I'm talking about like 10K a week, every week for the rest of your life. Like, do you feel like people that want those things, do you feel like they need to have very big, meaningful, impactful, uncomfortable conversations with potential mentors, business partners, employees, family, friends, fiancés? Or do you feel like they can get where they want to go with very easy conversations?
No, yeah, I would say difficult conversations, man.
Well, why though? Like, why do you think? Like, you tell me why.
Bro, I mean, didn't I tell you the first time? It's like, yeah, you're gonna have to have difficult conversations with people to get to where it is that you want to be. Like nothing in life comes easy for the most part, but those
Yeah.
who overcome
Dude, you're
supersede.
literally you're literally taking the words out of my mouth. And I'm just trying to have you see my logic, right? Because you came onto this call with super sharp guy. I can tell you're super intelligent. But like what happens if you only seek conversations or advice from yes men or from people who only want to tell you what you want to hear? Like what happens if you only receive that for the rest of your life? Like what happens?
I guess we stay in the same spot.
Yeah. And better yet, Christian, like what kind of support do you feel like you'll get from people whose best interest is just to push a program onto you without fully understanding if you're the type of person to be successful in it? Like, would you rather have a coach that can call you out on your bullshit, hold you accountable, and ultimately help you become a better person? Or would you want a coach that kind of like rolled over and let you do what you want?
I would say the first person.
Why is that important to you, bro?
I mean, because it holds me accountable.
Why is that important?
I mean, feel like you should know accountability. I feel like
Well, no, I don't know. The thing is, I don't. Like, dude, like, I speak to so many people, and believe me, there are people who don't give a shit about accountability. So why does it matter to you?
no, I feel like it's important for me because I see it around my peers who are successful. They all have discipline. They all hold each other accountable. Dude, they're in fucking accountability groups. As stupid as that sounds, that's actually the truth, and they're doing fantastic. So I don't see why not, you know?
Yeah. So I guess my last question here, dude, would be like, how committed are you to becoming the Christian who is able to make 10K a week and do XYZ desired outcome they said earlier in the call, but only because he's able to have hard conversations like this and be coachable? because you don't have to.
Damn, no. Yeah, I'm committed.
That's it. Right? Like that's like I didn't have to do like those extra two tie downs. Like I kind of did those for fun, but that's how you control a conversation. And that's how you reframe a bullshitter or reframe a hardball prospect. Because there are people who think they're the top shit.
I
And I've used
noticed
that.
that you said, and I'm sorry to cut you off, but I
Yeah.
noticed that you said, and you kind of gave me a pat on the back, like, dude, I can appreciate the fact that I can just tell you're a smart guy, you're a whiz, but what do you feel tends to happen to those people who are just, yes men, and they're fine with where they're at, and they're the top, like, so to speak, the big fish in the small pond, like in the small pond, like, what do you think tends to happen to those guys or to those individuals?
Yeah.
And you have me answer that.
Exactly. And like and we noticed what I did, how I was like, but why is that important though? Like, okay, but like cool. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Like educate me, bro, because I don't know. I don't know you. I just met you 20 minutes ago. How am I supposed to know how you think?
Hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
And you just frame it within their best interest, right? Because if you're able to reframe the conversation like that, it's money. So I think that's the number one skill set that you all need for your sales calls because that's how you A, get authority on a call, and B, frame the top of the call, reframe the middle of the call. We talked about how to cut people off. We talked about how to reframe. And that sequence of questioning that I did at the end with you, Christian, can also be applied in objections too, right? Like act like you're shitting your pants right now. Like, oh my God, I gotta go. I gotta go. Like, I'm sorry. Like, okay, Christian, it's 5K. Where do you want to go from here?
Yeah, I just need to think about it. I gotta, run some numbers on my end, and then yeah, I'll just get back to you. But I appreciate the time, Daniel. I really do. You've been great, man. I can tell you're really good at what you do. But then I gotta go.
You gotta go?
Yeah, yeah, like I have another meeting in 5 minutes with a prospective client. Like this is a big deal, so just gotta make it happen.
No
But
worries,
I'll
man.
get back to you.
Okay, cool, bro. Well, I mean, here's the thing. It might just be a little bit of nerves. Like, I'm noticing a little bit of like shift in energy here. Like earlier on the call, you were kind of like gun ho about getting started and changing your life, and now it's a little bit of nerves. I totally get it, dude. It's normal. It's normal to be scared or be nervous when you're jumping in the deep end and starting a business. But I guess for you, like, what's coming up, man? Or is it just a big decision?
No, no, I mean it's really just I have to run some numbers and see what I can do. And then, I definitely love the program, man. I love the style and I just
Yeah, okay. Well, dude, I mean, at the
Great.
end of the day, you don't need to do anything, right? Like, we don't have to start, bro. Like, seriously. Um, 5K isn't gonna change my life. I'm in Medellin right now. I'm chilling. Um, okay, great, dude. You go do your thing. But the thing is, like, just so I know that I'm organized on my end and I can give you the next best steps. When it comes to the actual program itself, like, I'm not gonna ask you money aside, would you do it? No, I'm gonna ask you, bro, like, seriously, if we actually were honest with each other, the program, the four steps we laid out, plug and play, deal financing, cold calling, whatever the steps are. Like, do you feel like that genuinely is something that would help you out?
No, of course. That I do see.
Okay.
100%.
Okay. So I guess when it comes to actually starting, like what's coming up for you, man? Like, is it just the finances or is it just like, holy shit, dude, like I didn't expect this to be 5K and I'm like, wow, like, oh my God, it's a big decision.
I would say it's the second option.
Yeah, of course, bro. I know. If you were not like that, I would be like, what's wrong with this guy? It's normal. It's totally normal. So, like, I know you said you have to jump, but are you open to, can I invite you to do something?
What?
And again, we don't have to go through this process because, like I said, we don't have to do anything. Like, you can literally hop off this call and continue operating your business exactly how you've been doing it up until this point. If you feel like that's what you want to do, like if you feel like that's like your way of currently doing things is great, go for it, chill, do whatever. But are you open to a different perspective?
I guess, yeah.
I guess when it comes to this big decision, dude, like when you say, just so I can give you the perspective, first of all, let me just line up this line of questioning. when you say, and then now I'm in pocket, right? Now I'm in pocket. Now I have them. Now I can do what I got to do. Now I can handle the I need to think about it objection. I can be like, what do you say? It's a big decision. Is it just like you logistically have to make the money work? You don't have the money, or you're just unsure about the program. And usually it's these two, right? It's like, bro, and then fuck, you just money handle them and that's it. Done. Right?
Now,
So
what
I
happens if they
reframe.
still got to go to this meeting? They're like, dude, no, I really have to go. I have to log off. When you guys told me 45 minutes, that's all I booked. They said 45 minutes. That's all I got.
Okay, cool, bro. Yeah, I have a meeting coming up too as well. But based where we're at in the conversation right now, like how important is this other meeting?
Um,
Like, are you meeting with the president?
no, I'm meeting with the client.
You're meeting with the client?
Yeah.
Okay, well, dude, I mean, like, that's totally fine. Like, if you genuinely have to go to see your client and they are contingent on that time, go for it.
Mhm.
Um, but I mean, I want to know how I can best set you up with the next best steps. Now, if you get off the call now, I can't really offer you any solution. So here's the thing. And by the way, pause the call for a second. If you're setting people for 45 minutes, that's not a good thing. Like, you should be setting them for an hour. Like, you never want to give them 45 minutes because realistically, calls don't take 45 minutes. That's number one. And number two, if someone genuinely has to go, let them go. Fuck it. But like, don't pitch them if you know they have to go, right? Like if you
So
know
like,
they have to
how do you
go,
know
just propose them.
if they're time contingent? Do you ask? Do
Well,
you
because
figure it out?
if you know that if you know you have them for an hour,
Mhm.
you should be pitching them at minute 30, not minute 50, right? Because then they have to go. Like people are busy, bro. You know what I mean? Like you can technically like if it's a kid and they're like, "Oh, I have to meet my friend at Starbucks." Bro,
Yeah, it's
take your
horseshit.
jacket off, bro. What are you doing? Like sit down. We're talking about your life here.
But it's like a realtor who's doing a fucking, I don't know, $1 million
Yeah, then
listing.
bro, you gotta respect that. You gotta respect their time, dude.
All right.
Like you can't like close deals by disrespecting their time. So make sure that when you're setting calls, you're making it clear that it's for an hour, not for 45 minutes.
And that
Listen,
possibly they don't have anything coming up,
I
or is
mean,
that
you
too
could
much?
ask, but dude, honestly, I try to keep my calls below an hour. If
Okay.
you're closing more than an hour, something's wrong, bro. Like you got to either shorten up your discovery or frame better, or like you got to be pitching very soon. You know, you can't be taking 2 hour calls, dude. It's just not efficient. It's not scalable, right? I mean,
Bro,
in the beginning, you might take an hour and a half. I did that too. I used to take 2 hour calls, but bro, it's not efficient at all.
yeah, I've been trying. That's what I've been trying to do the most. Just condense my calls.
And that's what happens when you don't have a good setting process because your calls realistically, if you have a good setting process and they're following to a T what I'm teaching, dude, your calls should be short as hell because your setters are going to be so dialed in. But listen, I think some people have to go here. Me and you can keep talking.
Yeah,
I actually do have a question for you.
let's go for
Um,
it.
but hopefully, guys, that was helpful for you guys. That was framing 101. I know we were going to do a Q&A after, but this masterclass ended up being a whole hour. So but was it Christian, Juliana, was that helpful for you guys at least?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm gonna review back on this for sure.
Yeah, super helpful.
Do you guys have any feedback for the teaching?
No, not necessarily feedback, but I did have a question with this last example that you did with this last role play. So, you know how he was pushing for price and you were like, well, we have a range of this and this. So I don't really have that on my offer. So I've been just kind of like, oh, well, like, let's, get to that. But first, let's figure out if this even works for you. But you know what I mean? Because I don't have a range. So what do you
Oh.
suggest?
Well, yeah, no offers have a range, but there's always a range. Like, I mean, Thomas and Joe wouldn't charge 2K for their time, so technically speaking, you're not lying when you say like, yeah, we have things that range from 2K all the way to 50,000, right? Like it's not a lie. Like I know Thomas charges like 50K for his time. Like I know he does for a fact, right? But like they're
Okay.
not. But it's like you're not offering them 50K. Like you give them a range. That way there's like scarcity and leverage
Mm-hmm.
because you never want to be like holding the price like in a box and be like I'm not telling you until the end of the
What if
call.
you
Like
tell
no,
them like some bullshit
like
price? Like, oh, you want to know the price? All right, bro, it's like $100 million. You ready to start? Like,
no,
obviously that's
that's silly.
valid.
Like I don't do that either.
Yeah.
Like I give them I create leverage. But if someone's dying to know, I just tell them, well, dude, like I know you want to know the price, but it's like, how am I supposed to tell you which offer to give you if I don't even know like your entire thing? Like, help me out
Right.
here, dude.
Right.
And if they're really contingent on the price, then just reverse sell them. Like you know how I did that with you, like at that one guy, I was like, dude, listen, man, like I'm not comfortable. In fact, like the line of questioning that we're having now isn't productive, and I don't think we're actually going to help you as a client. In fact, I don't even think it's worth Alexis's time to support you if you're going to be acting like this. So where do you want to go from here? Like
The-
that was a very rude takeaway close, but there are ways to make it less rude. Like you just kind of be like, hey man, like I don't think you're ready for this. Right. But Juliana, did that answer your question?
Yes, it did. It did.
Because again, like, yeah, you don't want to hold the offer here.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not a secret. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So just give them a range. People will usually be receptive to you saying, yeah, it's just I don't know what to give you yet, man. I'm so sorry. Like, I don't know. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And then for Christian, just like it made me think of, I had a call on Saturday and she was like rushed. So it lasted 5 minutes. I rebooked her. I was like, I need at least 45 minutes, preferably an hour, and you don't have that. So let's rebook you. And it was like her body language. I could just tell like something was, you know what I mean? And so I asked her, then I rebooked her for yesterday and I closed her. So maybe just be like in the beginning, someone's energy, just gauge it, like pay more attention to that kind of stuff. That way, because it sucks. It happened to me last week twice where they were going to close and then their client came in because they only booked for 45 minutes, but we needed an hour and I didn't know that when I started the call. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no. Yeah.
it happens. It's annoying, but it happens.
Yeah, and that's why too, the setters need to be also calling them before the call. Like, even if Jimmy called them and like set them, he still needs to set the like he still needs to send them the homework video and then text them if they watched it. And if they haven't, calling them and being like, hey, like, are you still good for an hour tomorrow? An hour on Zoom, on Zoom. Like, because you have to say Zoom because people forget. An hour on Zoom video call tomorrow at 1. Oh, it was on Zoom? Yes. For an hour? Yeah, yeah. Oh, I don't think I can do an hour. Okay, do you want to reschedule for time you have an hour? Yeah. Right? So you have the setters have to do that too.
Yeah, sometimes getting the baby it down, bro. People are like, wait, it's on Zoom?
Yeah.
One
But
hour.
listen, guys, I have to jump because I actually have a sales meeting.